But I
Yeah,
think the Celtics, it's good to mention this as well, that the Celtics the Celtics organization um, has been criticized for the way they broke the news, because the way they broke it in the beginning, they it's like, if you're gonna do some things, the main criticism was, if you're gonna do something, do it. Don't don't come out with a news that leaves people with questions, unnecessary questions, because the way they just mentioned that the man was suspended because he broke with protocols of the organization. It was also mentioned that it was unfair, but and I do agree with this. If you're not finished, if you haven't decided yet what measures you will take, why would you break the news now? Because people are asking questions, they are trying to figure out what happened. So a lot of speculation, and some people are dragged into whole this whole scandal that perhaps have nothing to do with it. But
well,
from NBA players, former NBA players who are currently in the media, and you can also Kendrick Perkins is another one who's on ESPN, also a former Celtics player. Um, they all say the same thing. If you're gonna come out, do it correct and do it complete. Matt Barnes says that he knows more, he has more information, and he has reasons to believe that if the whole story comes out, this man is over with.
well, I don't totally agree with you with that statement regarding, or even with the other ones. I understand what they mean from a media perspective. They're talking from a as media, but from an organizational standpoint, I don't think what they did was wrong. Also, looking at the fact that you're gearing up to a season, so you have to, if you know you're already going to, probably you're going to sack him, you don't want to interrupt that mid preparation time, right?
But you could, yeah, you could always do it internally. But I think your argument would be that it would have leaked anyway.
If you would do it internally, people would ask, why isn't he in the training
Doghouse.
and doghouse and all that stuff? So
Yeah.
that
Well,
would be create more, even more questions. So right now you give people some. So
well,
what the team is also doing is they are protecting themselves. So
the team
what
is the,
they are setting. I'm gonna say this straight up. They are
yeah,
setting the guy up to be
yeah.
fired
That's clear.
without people complaining about it.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. So I agree with you, but but if you're gonna if you're gonna come out with the information, it still needs to be complete. And what you would perhaps need to do is to anticipate possible questions. For example, because the first questions that people will ask is, who are the girls or the women in this case? I hope. Who are the women? No, I mean, we don't know. Who
You
are
don't
the
know.
women?
That's true.
We
That
don't
is true.
know.
That is true.
Who are the women? So if you say, I mean, you can say the identity of the women are being held, are will remain confidential to protect them. For example, I'm just giving an example. If if the women are, well, no, it doesn't matter. If they have a support, if they are support staff or whatever positions, you want to protect them, then you should say it like that, because then the media would know as well. I mean, you need to be a real, you need to be a real indecent person to disclose that information. When you hear, despite them saying, yeah, they want to keep the information confidential to protect them. Some people think the women don't need protection because they both agreed that both women agreed that their respective relationships were uh, consensual.
Consensual.
And so some people argue that that if Udoka is gonna get a certain treatment, the women should get it as well, because you need to be transparent. But then you have the discussion about power dynamics, and we don't know if there was a power dynamic in that situation. But that's what I mean with speculation. You
Yeah.
come out with a story, and people will start speculating.
Maybe it's on purpose. Who knows? But
Maybe it was the assistant coach that dropped.
there are also far more crazier stories going around, like him also having relationships with allegedly player wives. I don't know what is true about that. I mean, I do agree with you that that's one of the consequences of not being open about the situation, because then people start throwing anything out there.
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
but I think from I understand both sides. I understand both sides. From an organizational standpoint, you would have to say right now we have to focus on the season, because the season hasn't even started. If they don't put him on a um, suspension right now, he would have to he would start the season. Maybe they would be finished within a couple of months with the investigation. The season already started, and then you're gonna sack him. That's gonna be an even crazier story. Like, why would you sack him right now? Why didn't you sack him earlier? Technically, as an organization, you're always wrong
Yeah.
at this situation. But yeah, so that's the story of Ime.
That's the story. Yeah.
That's the story. It's really it's a really crazy story.